you're starring in two horror movies just weeks apart with Fear Street and Until Dawn. And, in both, you guys meet some pretty brutal ends. So, how did you kind of approach that, playing these two different types of women in horror?
I think I've just been kind of like pinching myself with the whole thing. Like I'm like taking it in as much as I can and sort of relishing in the opportunity to kind of we were talking about this earlier, but there's this real emphasis in film, at least in the moment for me, like on subtlety and kind of like pulled back performances, which is totally like great and valid. And I think what's so incredible about horror is you almost can't do too much. If you're being like chased with by a murderer, like there's nothing to hold back. Like,
it's the most human reaction possible.
Yes, and it's like a full kind of full body, full throttle sort of intense like throwing yourself at the wall kind of thing. And so Clover, who I played in Until Dawn, and Melissa in Fear Street are like completely different people. Could not be more different. I mean, Clover is like of modern times and Melissa's from the 80s, and I think that informs a lot of like who they are and how they hold themselves and like what kind of friends they surround themselves with. Like Melissa's never been on a phone and on an iPhone, and like Clover has, and like what does that mean for the way they like move in the world? I also think like they share some similarities, but I think Clover is a really subdued, grieving, struggling person at the time, and she's surrounded by really supportive friends who are kind of helping her traverse this like really horrendous grief. And then Melissa is a little bit more boisterous in the sense that she's trying to like make Tiffany laugh and sort of sucking up in this way, and does not have a very supportive friend group, has actually a very cutthroat, no pun intended, it's a very cutthroat kind of dark friend group where it's mostly about competition, and I also just think Melissa's more desperate for approval and is they're both confused is their similarity, but Melissa's confused how to sort of move forward socially and kind of conflicted, and Clover isn't conflicted, she's just sort of really sad. And I guess preparing for those scenes, it was just, I was so lucky to work with both those filmmakers, and when it's well written, you kind of, if you just, for me at least, like I kind of black out when I'm doing a scene like that, and like just sort of throw myself at it as much as possible. So it was a lot of physical preparation. Like for Until Dawn, I trained so much running. It was like so much running.